Stel, how you doing, mate?
Good evening, guys. Hope you're doing well. I've just literally jumped off my stream to come onto yours. I'm juggling two streams at once. So sorry if you heard me talking in the background earlier. I didn't realise you could hear me, so apologies. But
Yeah, I thought I didn't even know it was you in the background. I thought someone else was watching your stream.
Yeah, no, I was starting my stream, but I had both on. And anyway. I just wanted to explain myself in case I
No worries, Stel.
show.
No worries, Stel. But Stel, talk to me today because I've been in the camp of complaining and laying into Ange and the team pretty much all season. But I did think today, I know we lost and it's 18 defeats and the whole narrative around that's still the same. But I still think that it was a bit better today than what we've seen in the Premier League.
The bar is so low at this club under this manager.
Correct.
That a more attacking, more shots on goal game is deemed as success almost. And
no, I think that's wrong. I don't think it's deemed as success, but it's deemed as better than what it has been.
Yeah, I wasn't specifically referring to what you were saying, but if you go online now, Odebert's amazing, Tell's sensational, and the overhyping is just ridiculous. Nottingham Forest this season, what they've done is they've grabbed themselves some goals and then they just sit back, they defend for their lives and they say, come on then, break us down. What you saw today is exactly what Nottingham Forest do in most games this season. Yeah. That's exactly what they do. Most of their goals come on the counter, like they did when they scored against us when we went to their ground and we lost 1-0 and we just couldn't break them down.
Yeah.
Today, 3 crosses in 15 minutes. All 3 ended up in the back of the net and one of them was offside. The defending from this team is nothing short of a disgrace. Mm. We are one of the worst teams to watch defensive-wise. Individual defending as a unit, goalkeeper coming off his line to claim balls in the air, defending the edge of our box. Week after week, game after game, match after match, competition after competition, we are an absolute joke at defending. And we got away with it against Frankfurt. The last 20 minutes against Frankfurt, they missed the chances. They missed them. And we couldn't break down Frankfurt. We needed a penalty to beat them. I'm not surprised we beat Frankfurt, by the way, because if you remember, I came on your show and I grilled Ange and I said, do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we beat Frankfurt because they haven't quite been the same team since Mamouche left. And the stats prove it. Yeah. But nonetheless, I thought second leg, not winning the first leg, I thought we'd be out, but we did it. We're through to the next round of the semi-finals. And the problem with going to the semi-finals now is it covers all the cracks. It's almost as if, because we're in the Europa Cup, don't worry if we just lose in the league. Don't worry if we lose every week. Don't worry if we just end up 17th. It's all okay because we're going to win the Europa. Nick, Ben, we're not winning the Europa, man. I'm telling you, we're not winning it. And I'm sticking by my guns on this one. Because I just think we're going to come up against that one team that just tactically does a number on us. And do you know what? I'm actually quite worried about this Bodo Glimt game. Even if we win 2-0 in the first leg, I'm actually worried about this leg, these 2 legs we're playing. Because I said back in November, I felt we're going to come up against one team we don't know too much about. We're going to come up against one team we don't really know much about their players and their manager. And you know what? I've got a dodgy feeling that this Bodo Glimt team they're gonna surprise us. And when we least expect it in the tie, we're gonna get stunned. And we're gonna sit there after the game and say, holy shit, what just happened? Even if we win that first leg, I'm worried about this tie.
They're a very good side, Bodo Glimt. They are a very good side.
They're a good side. They're missing a couple of key players. So we should really win the first leg 2 or 3-0. We should.
Yeah.
Because they're not good away from home.
Yeah.
But that second leg just stinks of drama to me. It just smells of dodginess. And I'm actually worried about that game more than the first leg. This is a team that the Spursiness comes out in. Look, I hope I'm wrong and we go to the final. And who knows? In a final, anything's possible. Even though if we play United or Bilbao, I think we won't win that regardless. But I think Bodo Glimt is a team that everyone's going to underestimate. And a lot of fans are already saying, yeah, we're in the final. We got this.
Yeah, they are. They are. Everyone's saying it. We're in the final.
Everyone's booked their flights to Bilbao.
It's mad.
And that's the underestimating of an opponent that normally costs us. We've been here before. We've been here before with many other teams in Europe. But look, tonight's game, we huffed, we puffed, but we just showed we're not very good up front. We weren't good against Frankfurt up front in the first leg. We weren't good in the second leg. We weren't good tonight. Richarlison, people say, oh, but he scored a goal and he had chances. Richarlison doesn't score more than 12 goals in a season. So I don't expect him to take all his chances. Odegaard doesn't score goals. Tell, he doesn't really score goals. Yeah, I thought Odegaard was the best of the lot. He took on players. He put in some good crosses. He tested the keeper. The one shining light from tonight was probably Odegaard. I thought he done really well.
Yeah.
There looks like there's promise in him. But Tell, he missed a horrendous chance.
Yeah, he did.
In the first half. He's not good. And what really, really fucking pisses me off, and I'm sorry for swearing, with Tell is, we spent money on a guy that doesn't really offer us much. And it's now pushed Mikey Moore out of the squad. Mikey Moore now doesn't even play for Spurs, and it's because we signed Tell. And that is a tragedy, because Mikey Moore showed more promise than any other youngster we've seen in a very, very long time. So signing Tell not only hurts the team, but it's hurting Mikey Moore's career, and that really disappoints me.
Do you not think
it's sad?
Do you not? I agree with you about the chance that he missed. He's got to be putting that away. But do you not feel that his performances are getting better to what they were when he first joined? He's been in and out of the team last couple of games. I thought he's done a lot better. He is a 19-year-old kid at the end of the day.
We spent £10 million for what? Like, where's the end product? He doesn't
forget about the money, for instance. I'm talking about just him as a player. Do you not think he's getting better?
No, what's he done?
I just think he looks like more of a threat on that left-hand side than he has done previously.
But how? He doesn't create. He doesn't get assists. He doesn't score goals. What does he do?
Well,
he runs around a lot more.
He scored 2 in his last 2 Premier League games.
He didn't score today.
Previous to today.
A penalty. I mean, it's a dead ball situation. Just make sure you put it in the corners. It's a goal. Like in actual live play, for me, there's nothing special about this player whatsoever. Odegaard is levels above Tell. When I watch Odegaard take on a player, and I watch him cross a ball in the box, I don't think Odegaard's amazing, but there's definitely promise there. Like, I watch Odegaard, and I think, do you know what? There's actually a player in this guy.
But also,
this could be a good signing. But I look at Tell and I think, you came from Bayern Munich, and you look like you've come from Hoffenheim.
But still, we've also seen Odegaard put in stinkers though.
Yeah, we have. But I've seen enough to say that there's a player in him. You can see by the way he's not scared to take on a player.
Do you not think you're judging Tell a bit too early? Because has he had enough game time to show us what he's all about at 19 years of age as well?
But he's only here for 4 months.
I get that.
It's a 4-month loan.
I get that.
So he's only got 4 months to show us something.
Yeah.
If we signed him on a 3-year contract, then maybe you've got an argument. But we signed him on a loan deal, no obligation to buy. We signed him end of January, so he's here for February, March, April, May. He's now 2.5 months into his contract. He's only got another 6 weeks left, and he's gone.
I think we're going to sign him.
I think we're going to sign him as well.
If we spend £50 million on this player, it's an absolute disgrace. Because Doué went to PSG for 50 million. Kvaratskhelia went to PSG for just over 50 million. And we're spending 50 million on Tell. We've already wasted 65 on Solanke and 60 on Richarlison. 120 million pound of strikers that can't score a combined 20 goals between them. And now we're going to spend another 50 on this guy. We've lost the plot. We don't want to stay in the Premier League. If we sign Tell, we do not want to stay in the Premier League. We want to get relegated. There's no way we can sign
Still, don't
guy.
get me wrong. I
chance.
don't think he's been good enough since joining Tottenham. Don't get me wrong when I'm saying that. I agree with you on that sense. All I'm saying is I feel like I've seen a signs of improvement over the last couple of games. That's all I'm saying.
How much did we pay for Bergvall?
Was it 15 million or something?
No. That's what I would spend on a young player that's got potential. And he's shown us that he's improved during the season, and he's definitely got something about him. I really am excited to see what Bergvall's going to be like in 2 years' time. I'm really excited, especially with a proper coach that actually knows how to coach players. But Tell, 50 million. We must be out of our freaking minds. We've completely lost the plot. Well, we have lost the plot. Look at us. But if we sign Tell, I'm going to be on here every week losing the plot. In fact, I don't even know if I'm going to handle it. No, not for me, Ben. Not for me. I don't want Tell any. Look, he's come. They tried it. For me, it doesn't make sense. I'd rather Mikey Moore gets given that position instead. Look, Solomon is absolutely having a blinding season in the Championship.
Can't stay fit at Tottenham.
No one can really.
Yeah.
But I'd rather bring back Solomon and let him play ahead of Tell. I'd rather Mikey Moore be given a season so we can see what this young kid can actually do if he's given the amount of minutes that Tell's been given. There's cheaper options that I think actually might be better than Tell. And Tell's going to cost a lot of money. It's a massive punt if we sign Tell. It's bonkers. I'm against it. No, not for me. I'm not interested in Tell.
Stel, you mentioned before about the horrible defending that we've been seeing all season. In this game alone, with the goals that we conceded, including the one that was offside, is that more on the defence or is that more on the goalkeeper?
What, the second goal?
I'm saying all the goals that we conceded because I thought Vicario had his hand to play in all of them.
Well, the first goal, I blame Porro because he's headed the ball to the edge of the box, which is, what are you doing? You know, header it where you're facing. Send it back where it came from, or off the pitch. He's headed it to the edge of the box. He's literally said to the midfielders, "Go on and have a go." And even then, we didn't defend the edge of the box. And I don't know if you remember, we conceded against. Was it Wolves, where the ball's gone to the edge of the box and they've taken a shot from the edge of the box and scored?
Yeah.
So you can tell we're not being coached because we still don't defend players hovering on the edge of our box. This is something I've said all season. Look, I've done enough coaching courses to know how to set up a team to defend from set pieces, when outnumbered, and when you've got the numbers. And I look at Spurs week in, week out, and 9 out of 10 games, we're not coached how to defend. Porro slices his cross, doesn't send it back to where it came from. No one's marking on the edge of the box. Then when the shot comes in, it took a deflection, which is unlucky because that's just a Spurs player trying to put a block on it. The ball took a really nasty bounce just in front of Vicario, and I think that caught him. It caught him because it bounced in front of him, then went over his hands. If the ball doesn't bounce just in front of him, I think Vicario makes the save. So I don't really blame Vicario for the first one. The Chris Wood goal, Vicario's lost the plot.
Yeah.
He's come out of goal. He's not only has he missed the ball, he's punched past Van de Ven.
Yeah.
So he's missed the ball and the players. He's just gone into thin air. It's almost like he bottled it. Rather than just thinking, do you know what? I might take a bit of the player. He's just missed everything. He's punched the air. So, yeah, you do blame Vicario. But at the same time, our defenders shouldn't be allowing Chris Woods that header. Van de Ven's not short. He's 6'4". Why is he not winning the header?
Yeah.
So if you look at all of the goals we concede in general, it's never one player's fault. You know, if you go back to the Wolves game, Pape Sarr gives a dangerous free kick away in the first minute. Why? Why do that? Then the ball goes into the box. Vicario messes it up. It comes flying out. No one's marking edge of the box. Then the shot comes in. Ben Davies is standing in the way of Vicario. It's just, it's layers and layers and layers of defensive errors. And it's because they're not coached. They're not coached how to defend properly, because this would have been fixed by now. This would have been resolved. But we're just as bad as when he first came. In two years, we haven't learned how to defend a ball into the box. And 1 in every 10 games, we do quite well. And we think, yeah, you see, he can adapt. Look at the defense. They know what they're doing. And then it goes back to type for the next 9 games.
Yeah. I mean, it's just very, very frustrating. And 18 losses this season, Stel. I read out the stats before, you know. This is going to be our worst ever Premier League campaign. We could lose more games than we ever did in a 44-game season. Worst home campaign as well in the Premier League. I mean, what is going on at this football club?
I saw I don't know if this is right, but the cheapest season ticket is £1,000. We've won 5 home games apparently. So according to the season ticket, you're paying £200 per win to watch Spurs win.
We're paying more than that.
Yeah.
But listen, that's the cheapest ticket, Barry. If you go to the £2,000 tickets, that's costing them £400. If you've got a £3,000 ticket, I mean, what's the numbers on that?
Well, I bet Ben
£600?
Kaufman's for about £3,000 a win with all his season tickets he's got. Jesus.
If you've got a family package, yeah, it's about £1,000, £2,000 a win. It's unbelievable. And what you're seeing now is, look, I never went to the game. I'm done with going to the games. I'll go to the semi-final because I said if Spurs get to the semis, I'll go there and I'll back them to the hill because I want us to get to a final win it. I'll do my bit. But I saw a lot of empty seats before, as the game kicked off. And then at half-time, 5 minutes into the second half, I saw a lot more empty seats. And this is what's going to happen now. That stadium's going to lose a lot of atmosphere and it's not going to have many fans turning up to support it anymore in the league because people aren't going to pay for it. You're not going to pay for this shit anymore. It's gone too far.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. I don't know what more to say, Stel. It's just a very, very frustrating season. And it can't get much worse than this, can it?
Never say never. Never say never.
Bodo beat us in the first leg. Yeah, it can get worse, Ben. Thanks.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you where I'm at with it all, guys, right? I'm relaxed with it. I'm chilled with it. I don't get angry anymore because it's pointless. I put a smile on it because you've got to laugh at this. You've got to laugh at these owners. You've got to laugh at these players. You've got to laugh at the coach and the coaching team that's been assembled. But for me, I think the saddest thing that's happened this season is we've got a section of our fan base that the delusion is bonkers, man. You know, the delusion is insane. If you dare to say what you see, you're negative. If you dare to comment on the constant failures, and by the way, 18 losses in a season is a joke. It's the excuses. Oh, but we've got injuries. All our players are back. All of our players are back. We've lost the last 2 league games with all the players back.
Yeah.
Oh, but we're still in the Europa. Yeah, but we're just about clinging on in these games. Oh, but you wait and see. Ange can adapt. Well, did he adapt against Frankfurt or did Frankfurt put us back and we just defended for our lives and we got away with it? Because tonight we went back to type and it fell apart. It's excuses after excuses. It's denial after denial. And I just think fans need to just get a grip. And if someone's got a different view on what's going on this season, just let them have it. To start labeling them negative, toxic, poison. These fans, I call them fake positivity fans. They're going to end up with a lot of egg on their face come the end of the season. And then what? Where does that leave us? I think what needs to happen at this club is the entire fan base just needs to get behind change for Tottenham and just force some change at the higher level so we don't have to accept this any longer. For me, that's the only positive that's come out this season is that the desire for change, real change at this club, has grown more than I've ever seen it since the days when Sir Alan Sugar and Irvin Scholar and Terry Venables were at the club and it was, quite toxic with the fans. This is the first time I've seen it like this. So if Ange is the reason that we finally get change at the top of the club, then Ange, give him a statue. Give him a statue, make him a hero, and I can meet all the Ange-sexuals halfway if that happens. There you go.
Well, you heard it there first. I think the next protest is the Crystal Palace game in a couple weeks' time. So if you feel that way inclined, like myself, like Stel, like Barry, get yourself down to the protest pre-Crystal Palace game. Change for Spurs on social media. Stel, absolute pleasure having you on the channel once again, my friend.
As always. And free Mikey Moore. Free Mikey Moore.
Big up, Stel. Speak to you soon.